up, everybody? How are y'all doing today? I hope y'all are having an absolutely amazing day. It is Saturday, May 10th. So of course, I am a Nerf channel. I've taken a look at multiple different kinds of Nerf blasters in the past. I've taken a look at a lot of good ones, a lot of mediocre ones, and some bad ones. But the blaster we are going to be taking a look at today is such a revolutionary blaster. This thing came out over a decade ago, and it is still today widely considered as the greatest Nerf blaster of all time. It is something that Hasbro put out that is way too good, that nothing that has been put out after that can top it. And I mean absolutely nothing. No matter how hard these companies can try, they cannot match up to what this thing is. Ladies and gentlemen, the blaster we are going to be taking a look at today is the Nerf Elite Stryfe. This is the Battle Camo Edition. This is my favorite color scheme, but it's still the same blaster. So what do I think about it? Do I personally like it? Would I recommend it? Do I still think it's a great blaster today? Oh boy, let's get into it. I'm excited for this review. The Nerf Elite line, of course, came out in 2012 with so many amazing Nerf blasters. I keep on mentioning this. I mentioned this in my Rapid Strike review. I'm going to mention it here. 2 weeks ago, I took a look at the Nerf Elite Rapid Strike CS18, a magazine-fed, fully automatic blaster that I still think is one of the best in the hobby. It's definitely not the best stock, but when it comes to looks, feel, ergonomics, just the way it works, it cannot be topped. And to think about the fact that both of these came out in the exact same year. Nerf, where are you? What happened to you? This shows immediately that Nerf was the greatest foam dart blaster company back then. Of course, starting off with the ergonomics of the Stryfe. This grip is the best. It is quite literally one of the best grips ever. It is so comfortable. It might be a little bit too small, but for me it fits just fine. You have a sling point down here and a sling point up here, so 2 sling points. You even have some very nice texturing on the grip, and you even got the N-Strike logo on both sides on this grip. Yes, I got 2 of them. Of course I'm gonna have 2. This blaster does have an N-Strike stock attachment point, does have an N-Strike barrel attachment point, and has 2 tactical rails. You can customize it all you want. Want to have it as a basic pistol? You totally can. Want to turn it into an assault rifle sort of thing? You totally can. Want to turn it into a super mobile compact SMG? You totally can. How is the design of the Stryfe? Right off the bat, even in its base form, it looks absolutely amazing. Even the OG version still looks amazing, because you got the white striping just like the other Elite blasters. You have the Nerf logo painted on both sides, the N-Strike logo painted on both sides. You have Stryfe only painted on one side, not on this side, but that's okay. I will give them a pass. Color separation, all the details, it looks beautiful. This is one of my favorite, if not my favorite blaster to look at. How is the plastic quality? It feels solid. It feels like a standard Nerf blaster. Once again, Nerf, really good. How is the smoothness of operation? Well, you got a mag release, a rev trigger, and a main trigger. The mag release is the best. Once again, this is the best mag release I have ever gotten on a blaster. You can gravity drop it, and you can fling the mags out like that. Tactical reload, anybody? I really gotta practice. Wanna make your Stryfe look like a modulus regulator? You totally can. A review of this is coming pretty soon. How is the rev trigger? This is the greatest rev trigger I've ever got my hands on, and probably the best rev trigger ever. It is so clicky, so responsive, super nice and comfortable, and when you push the rev trigger down, it hides in completely. How is the main trigger? Just like the rev trigger, it is super nice and smooth. Definitely not as smooth as the Hellfire, but is it not one of the smoothest triggers ever? It is so good, and especially when you have darts in it, it feels so nice. You do have a jam door up top here, so you can clear out jams or malfunctions if you happen to encounter any. I haven't really gotten a whole lot, but it's there, just in case if you need it. How does this blaster work? Well, simple. This thing does come with a 6-round magazine originally, but I have two 12-rounders because these are my favorite magazines. Load up to how many darts you want to, hold down the rev trigger, and that's a semi-auto blaster, so one trigger pull, one shot. And as you saw, it holds 4 AA batteries. That is everything the Nerf Elite Stryfe has to offer, so let's go out to the range and see how good this thing does. Welcome back to the range, everybody. You can already tell I am so in the mood of using this blaster because unlike the last review, this thing is absolutely awesome so far. So we have the Nerf Elite Stryfe. I have a 12-round mag. I have 12 Elite darts fully loaded. We're going to be doing 6 shots flat, 6 shots angled, and then we're going to be moving on to the good old accurate darts on Adventure Force waffles. These are rechargeable AA batteries. These are definitely not the freshest thing ever. These are definitely not super duper fresh batteries, but they do work. They do get the job done. So let's just not waste any more time, fire this thing, see what this thing can do. And now for the good old Darts on Adventure Force waffles. These darts are pretty decent in springers, but in flywheelers, they're absolute laser beams. That accuracy was incredible. So overall, what do I think of the Stryfe and what I recommend it? One needs to be said, what I have already said, and tons of other people have said about this thing. This is just way too good to be true. Everything about it just works so well, and from the ground up, it is built to be the best. There's so many different versions of these blasters, I don't even know which one looks the best. My favorites are definitely this, and the Blue Elite version. This thing is probably the most modded blaster in all of history. Over 510 gazillion mods. You want to turn this thing into a full auto blaster? You can. Want to turn this thing into a 200, 300 FPS super competitive blaster? You totally can. Want to make this thing into a select fire, controllable rate of fire with a screen and everything on it? You totally can. You can do anything with the Nerf Stryfe, and that's why the Stryfe is so loved to this day. Even stock, the Stryfe is still completely serviceable to the battlefield, and honestly, I wouldn't be more happier to even run a stock Stryfe at a war. Is it perfect? No, it does have some flaws. If you don't really play any good darts, it does jam, but every single blaster does jam every once in a while, and it's not very symmetrical. As you can see, on the right side, the internals are just bulging out. But those are very minor nitpicks when it comes to me. It's better than the Retaliator, it's better than the Rapid Strike, it's better than pretty much any blaster Hasbro's ever made ever. That is my review of the Nerf Elite Stryfe. Thank you very much for watching this review. You can like, subscribe, dislike if you want to. It's completely free. I don't mind if you do any of those things. Thank you very much for watching this video. Now we'll see you on the next one. And as always, peace out.